She asked me if she was gonna die, and it was the worst thing in the whole world. No parent should ever have to deal with that, and no kid, especially so young.
Community support, how a Quad City neighborhood transformed for a young girl battling kidney disease.
We have so many projects that need to happen around this country and very little money to match the requirements to get us there.
The obstacles that remain in getting federal funds for a new Interstate 74 bridge.
Live from WQAD, this is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.
Good morning and welcome. It is Friday, April 25th. I'm Julie Sis.
And I'm Jim Mertens. Arbor Day, a lot of celebrations, planting trees, and what a spectacular day for it.
It's going to be great weather to be outside planting a tree or taking a walk, really just about anything today, James.
I think a lot of kids probably want to have gym class outside or recess as well. Let's put it that way. Of course, they probably want to have the day off. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But a nice day it will be as we end this work week as the clouds. More importantly, yesterday's rains that added up to about a quarter, even a half an inch, has now made its way off to the east. Skies are already improving very nicely across the Hawkeye State as well as right around our local viewing area. We're waking up the temperatures pretty much in the 30s, a little cooler than that in Clinton. In immediate Quad Cities, we have a temperature of 43 degrees. Skies are clearing nicely. A gentle breeze coming out of the west-northwest at 12. Hey, that's going to be a common wind. Why? Because it's going to pull from the Plain States, even warmer numbers around here. Check out the breakdown on your Friday. Numbers by lunchtime will already be around the lower 60s. Looks like topping out close to 70 degrees by the time the kids are heading out of school. A fine spring day it will be. A lot of changes though in store heading in the weekend. We'll tell you when the next round of wet weather will be arriving, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, James. Quad City sports fans are gearing up. The Mallards play in Game 4 of the Central Hockey League semifinals tonight at the iWireless Center.
That's where we find News 8's Jonathan Katz. He's joining us there live with a preview. Jonathan?
Hi there, Jim and Julie. Hey, good morning, everybody. Yes, right here at 6 a.m., top of the hour. We are live on the ice right now, the iWireless Center. It's been a fun morning, that's for sure. Played a little bit of hockey back in my day. At 5:30, if you were watching, guys, Jim was talking about, you know what, John, maybe you could step a little bit further back and try a shot. So bear with me. I'm going to see if I can do this here. That one's wide. I feel like the Blackhawks during intermission of periods 2 and 3. All right, here's shot number 2, Jim. Boom! There's your shot from the blue line. That one is true. That means the Mallards are up 1-0. But in the series, at least, guys, they're down 2-1. Okay, so that was Game 3 on Wednesday night. Game 4 tonight. Puck drop 7 p.m. Want to show you some highlights though of Game 3. That was just 2 days ago against these Allen Americans. Now the Mallards are really looking to regroup because the Allen Americans were pretty tough on Wednesday night. Lost to the Allen Americans 4-2. Team had a couple of scoring opportunities that they capitalized, but obviously not enough of them. And we talked to head coach Terry Waskowski after the game, and listen to what he had to say.
This is second round of playoffs, and if I have to tell them to start working hard, maybe they should have a look at themselves and say, you know, we've got to this point because we worked hard. We're not an overly talented team, but we work hard and we create opportunities because of our work ethic.
About that work ethic, all about that motivation. That's why we're here tonight. And Jim, once again, hanging out here. Here's my wrister, top shelf. Not so much, but that's still true. So I believe I'm like 5 out of 6 for the morning.
Well, we're
which
impressed.
is not bad. Yeah, so not bad.
So you practiced.
By the way, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We're talking to Bob McNamara, the team president, so that's important at 6:30. Talk about the success of the team and also what you can expect tonight. So a little bit more of a newsworthy angle coming up at the next half hour. Good Morning Quad Cities.
So basically the last 90 minutes have been tryout for you to try to get a job there, huh?
Yeah, I'm not doing bad, am I?
But we'll find out next half hour.
Sounds
See what
good.
the team has to say. Game 4 tonight at the iWireless Center in Moline. The puck drops at 7 o'clock.
Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx says that the Interstate 74 bridge is one of the worst he has ever seen and says it's going to take some work in Washington to pay for a new one. Secretary Foxx took an up-close look at the bridge yesterday, seeing the crumbling concrete and exposed rebars. Foxx says that he understands why a new bridge needs to be built, but the government's Highway Trust Fund is nearly empty, and Congress needs to come up with a long-term solution.
And I can understand why this community wants to come together to see that bridge get expanded and to ensure that not only the growth that's already here, but the growth that's coming in the future is accommodated by a new bridge and a new capacity.
Congress will be discussing the Highway Trust Fund in the coming months. In the meantime, all of the prep work that you are seeing on both sides of the river will continue.
American officials say more sanctions against Russia could come today over the crisis in Ukraine. Secretary of State John Kerry says Russia will make an expensive mistake if it does not de-escalate the situation. Tensions rose yesterday when Russia began new military drills near the border after Ukrainian forces killed 5 pro-Russian militants. Ukraine is giving Russia 48 hours to explain the drills, but did not say what Ukraine will do if Russia doesn't comply. President Barack Obama in South Korea today, looking to improve the relationship between both countries. The visit comes as that nation is coping with the losses from the sunken ferry disaster. The president has expressed his sympathy for victims. He's also addressing a threat from the north. South Korean officials saying North Korea ready for another nuclear test. The president says the U.S. will continue to do everything it can to stand with South Koreans at this difficult time.
The Malaysian government says it will release a full report on missing Flight 370 next week. All efforts to locate a missing Malaysian jetliner have failed so far. Now the government is promising a full report next week on the plane's disappearance, what the government knows about it and what it is doing about it. Malaysia's prime minister is still refusing to declare the plane or its passengers lost. The families of those passengers have accused investigators of being less than candid about the progress of their search. The football players at Northwestern University will vote today on whether to form a union. Yesterday, the National Labor Relations Board announced it would review a previous decision that allows players to unionize. The players' ballots will be withheld until there is a new ruling on the appeal. 76 players are eligible for today's vote.
Thousands of dollars could be yours if a local legend holds true, and if you find it just upriver from the Quad Cities in Dubuque. As News 8's John David reports, people have been looking for their fortune at Kelly's Bluff for 150 years and counting.
It takes a little squinting and a lot of dreaming.
This is Kelly's Bluff right here.
You can almost see the gold out there. High above downtown Dubuque, tingles for treasure hunters.
This would be where he was doing his mining, do you think?
Right.
This 19th century print leads the way to Kelly's Bluff.
This was the time Kelly would have been there on his bluff.
According to legend, lead miner Thomas Kelly buried more than $100,000 in gold coins there before his death in 1867.
He amassed so much wealth.
Loras College historian Mike Gibson knows those legends, probably a mix of fantasy and reality, but still, it's one tempting tale.
He seems like kind of a mysterious man.
Most indications are that he was pretty aloof from Dubuque society. He didn't obviously trust banks.
There's still a lot of mystery surrounding Tom Kelly. The eccentric miner lived like a hermit. Turns out he was one of Dubuque's wealthiest citizens when he lived and worked up on that bluff.
In prospecting, he found some very rich lead veins.
The Irish immigrant struck it rich, but his dark side included a murder conviction in New York and asylum escape, experiences that left him paranoid over money.
He always felt for some reasons, the Masons were always out to get him.
Dubuque native Bob Eichmann remembers the rumors.
Kelly always insisted to be paid in gold.
Over a half century, several stories surfaced about kids and others unearthing gold coins worth thousands of dollars.
But he left a note which said, if you want my money, if you want my gold, you'll have to come and dig for it.
Others who make their way to Kelly's Bluff still see the signs, but these days it just leads to a dead end.
There are certain things that will never be known, period.
The mystery of Kelly's Bluff probably went with Tom to this grave.
He lived and died as a miser.
That tall monument remains on display at Linwood Cemetery, a monument to a mystery that left Tom Kelly with the last laugh.
They say you can't take it with you, but in his case, maybe it's true, right?
That's right.
Kelly's Bluff is now fenced off as private property. Human remains, the only things found here recently. Bones excavated by accident during a defunct condo project. That elusive stash of gold coins just a dream.
Do you still sense that there's untold riches out there somewhere?
No, I don't. I think that is somewhat of a story.
There is some reports that he did like to spin a tall tale himself on occasion.
While thousands of cars pass below each day, few talk about Kelly's Bluff anymore. Whether fact or fiction, dreams of striking it rich from Kelly's Gold are fading fast.
Probably won't amount to much if they do.
A tantalizing legacy that lingers at Kelly's Bluff. In Dubuque, Iowa, John David, WQAD News 8.
So you might be thinking, why not get a metal detector? Get out there, try to find those coins. Well, that plan won't work because of all the lead that's in the ground in that area.
A young girl fighting kidney disease is back home after several hospital trips, and her neighbors gave her a homecoming she won't soon forget. 5-year-old Mariah Richardson has been battling kidney disease since the age of 2, and over the past year, she's been in and out of Peoria Hospital. Last night, her neighbors put up welcome signs up and down her street and even painted the grass purple, her favorite color.
So mature for her age. It's so nice to be able to get her back to being a kid.
Beautiful flowers too, as you see there. Mariah is now trying a radiation treatment, which will require her to go to Peoria once a week. Family friend has started an account in her name for anyone wanting to donate money to help with their expenses. You can find out how under this story at WQAD.com.
Every little bit would help, wouldn't it? Still ahead of Good Morning Quad Cities, taking another look. The feds backing off on a move that farmers and brewers were hopped up over.
And saving Earth, how local students are learning to protect the planet.
And looks like we'll dry things off nicely today. We'll tell you exactly how long this little dry spell is going to last before that next round of wet weather arrives. Coming up right after the break here on Good Morning Quad Cities.
You're watching Good Morning Quad Cities with Jim Mertens and Julie Sisk. Traffic cameras on Good Morning Quad Cities are sponsored by Ace Muffler Clinic.
It's 6:14 right now. Time for Total Travel. We want to give you a live look and show you the Centennial Bridge. You see, traffic picking up a little bit out there right now. It's still pretty quiet. We'll keep an eye on things, give you another live look. One thing you can see as the sun is coming up, it's a nice start to our Friday. The rain is out of here.
We're going to dry out some of those puddles that may be here and there. And that was a nice rain, too.
We needed the rain. And
absolutely.
Get it done with yesterday. Move
Lawns
on to Friday.
I haven't cut my lawn yet. Oh, my neighbors are like, come on, Sahara, cut the grass. I'll be doing that later today, guys. I'll be doing that. Yeah, it's going to be a real nice spring day out there. And yeah, yesterday's rains have now made their way off to the east. And as you can see, skies are already clearing from west to east as that storm system makes its way across the Ohio Valley and southern New England states. So things are looking pretty good. A kind of a zonal flow, we like to call it, making its way across a Tuesday. And what we mean by a zonal flow is kind of a west to east flow. So caught in that flow, some of that dry air, and that will spell some of that sunshine in our forecast today. That'll be followed by a few maybe wispy high clouds that'll be coming in during the afternoon hours. So kind of a sunny, mostly sunny sky will be in store for your Friday. What about temperatures as we start off this early Friday morning? And not too bad. Numbers generally in the 40s out there. A little bit cooler than that, like in Clinton at 39 degrees, 41 degrees in Galena, Muscatine, 45 degrees we have over in Kewanee. Right now in the immediate Quad Cities, we have a temperature of 43 degrees. How warm will it get for your hometown? Check it out. Oh, what a nice spring day this will be. Numbers range between 69 degrees in Princeton, maybe as warm as 73 over in Mount Pleasant. Monmouth, good morning. I'm looking at a high for you of 71. 70 degrees I see in Geneseo and Kewanee. A little further north, more upper 60s from Galena into Clinton. About 70 over in Sterling Rock Falls. And in the immediate Quad Cities, I'm looking at a daytime high. Yeah, right around 70 degrees. So a brighter day, a drier day, a warmer day too to end this work week. We'll keep it rather quiet and dry as we head into the evening hours across a Tuesday. No worse than a few high-level clouds heading into our forecast come tonight. Looks like we'll be seeing generally some partly cloudy skies in store for tonight, and temperatures, it looks like more like around the low to mid 40s for overnight lows. This is Saturday a.m. and everything's still looking a-okay. A little upper air disturbance coming in from the west may provide us with a few partly cloudy skies around here. Temperatures shouldn't be all too bad. In fact, we'll keep it dry. Numbers anticipated around the mid 60s, and that's about seasonal for this time of year. But after Saturday, going to late Saturday night and Sunday, we got a storm system that is going to be cut off by the main flow just to our north. This is what we call cut-off lows. They kind of meander, and it doesn't allow the weather to really change much at all. And we expect this low to be kind of drifting its way eastward as we head into Sunday, bringing in more clouds and increasing that chance for not only some scattered showers around here, but maybe even a few thunderstorms as well. Nothing really severe I see. Anything that we do see severe-wise will be more downstate into Illinois, possibly going into Missouri. Of course, we'll keep a close eye on the skies. What we will be watching is the amount of rainfall. Indications are that starting on Sunday, looks like going into Monday, maybe seeing rainfall amounts between 1 as high as 2 inches of rain, and this rain chance will continue as we go through most of next week, which means we're going to have to keep a close watch on those small rivers and tributaries, see how they get aggravated with all this rainfall coming on in. And you know what? It's going to make our lawns even greener in the days to follow. For today, a lot of sunshine, dry, warm, 70 I see for the daytime high. Then by tonight, fair to partly cloudy, cooling it down to a low of 45 degrees. Mid to low 60s Saturday, Sunday, going to Monday. Here comes some of that wet weather in store for us in the days ahead. Yeah, look at the rain chances. I mean, it's not going to be a total washout. There's going to be some breaks, but wow, all the rain continuing on into about Thursday. And by the time we get to the tail end of these raindrops, that's when we'll feel the coolest of the air with numbers for daytime highs only in the upper 40s.
Good Morning Quad Cities Ag in the AM is sponsored by Holland & Sons.
Prices are rising slightly at the Chicago Board of Trade. 2 cents higher in overnight electronic trading of corn futures. Now, even May, July, and September contracts all over $5 a bushel. Increase a little more in soybeans, 6 cents higher for May contracts, July up a nickel, and August contracts at $14.14 right now, up 4 cents overnight. Also on Ag in the AM, the federal government is backing off of proposed rules that had farmers and beer makers angry. For decades, beer makers have basically given away to cattle farmers the byproducts of beer manufacturing. It's really been a win-win. Beer companies had a cheap disposal system. Farmers had a cheap food product that cattle ate. Well, the proposed rule change would have required breweries to dry and package their mashed brown sludge before giving it or selling it to farmers, a costly move that might drive up beer and beef prices. After loud public opposition to the plan, the FDA announced yesterday that the agency got the message saying it's a perfectly safe practice and should be allowed to continue. The FDA is looking at new sweeping food and safety rules in response to concerns about tainted pet food from China. The rule would have covered all types of foods destined for pets, farm animals, and zoos. A unique fundraiser collected $35,000 by farmers for the Riverbend Food Bank, and you can thank that red tractor you see right there. For 2 months, you could pay $10 for a chance to win the 60-year-old restored Farmall Super MTA tractor as part of Berkey's 60-day hunger drive. Berkey's has stores in Henry, Macomb, Galesburg, Polo, Prophetstown, and Anawan. They say they hope the donation has a big impact. A man from Eastern Illinois won the tractor. Time right now, 6:20 in today's School Zone. The high school seniors hoping to make the place they're about to leave a lot safer. Plus, Back to the Future. How soon a massive lake and community just north of the Quad Cities will be restored to its past glory.
Time right now is 6:23 in today's School Zone. Iowa college students may get to keep a little more money in their wallets. The Iowa State House and Senate approved tuition fees for the state's 3 public colleges. On Wednesday, lawmakers approved a nearly $1 billion spending plan. Each school is also getting a 4% increase in state funding. The measure is now headed to Governor Terry Branstad's desk. With more than 1,100 Oklahoma schools without storm shelters, 3 high school seniors are hoping to change that. They've come up with a less expensive and more portable alternative. After last year's devastating May 20th tornado in Oklahoma, these seniors were given their capstone project to solve a problem. And that devastation is what inspired them to create the safe room made out of steel. It's designed to come down from the wall and latch on all sides. The safe room also has a certain level of bullet resistance, so it could protect in the event of a school shooting. Kids in the Quad Cities are learning hands-on how to protect the planet. An Earth Week fair is going on this week at the QCCA Expo Center in Rock Island. Students and families can check out different booths and games that teach about the environment. There will also be some live animal presentations to show the kids the impact people have on ecosystems.
This is the education that you need to get to the kids so that when they become adults, they do it and not have to be taught as adults to do the stuff to save the earth.
About 1,500 students are expected to attend the fair this year.
Traffic cameras on Good Morning Quad Cities are sponsored by Ace Muffler Clinic.
It's time for Total Travel. We are looking live at the Centennial Bridge. You can see here, bridge traffic looking good. There is one delay out of the Eastern Iowa Airport this morning. Other than that, no delays or cancellations.
Okay, the rains that we had around here yesterday now slowly
out of here.
Will be affecting, I think, some connecting flights around the Ohio Valley, eventually some of the Virginias and southern New England states. There is one hub, Jules, where I do expect to see one nonstop flight experiencing some of this wet weather. And that's going to be in Detroit, where we're looking at temperatures around the 50s for daytime highs. Chicago going to do a little bit better under some clearing skies, looking at high to 65 degrees. Dallas, a sunny, warm 86. Minneapolis, some partly cloudy skies around 63. Good looking weather in the state of Florida. Orlando, Tampa will be seeing temperatures in the 80s under full sunshine. And that is what we're going to be stressing in our forecast today. We'll tell you exactly what those temperatures are as we wake up on this early Friday morning, exactly how warm they're going to get to right after the break here on Good Morning Quad Cities.
It's a lifestyle, and I think lifestyle is a big impact to many people that live or have cabins on Lake Delhi.
Bouncing back, the year-long job that's underway to replace a dam washed away by flooding.
And playoff push, how the Mallards are looking to regroup for Game 4 tonight in Moline.
And we'll also tell you why you won't need that jacket later today. We'll tell you more about that with the help of your most accurate forecast.
Live from WQAD, this is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.
Good morning and welcome. It is Friday, April 25th. I'm Julie Sisk.
And I'm Jim Mertens. Thanks for joining us. A big night for sports fans. Quad City Mallards play tonight in Game 4 of the CHL semifinals.
And News 8's Jonathan Kutz joins us now live there with more on the team's recent success. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi there, Jim and Julie. Hey, good morning, everybody. Here at 6:30, we've been having a lot of fun this morning and wanted to talk kind of some serious business. Talking with Mallard's president, Bob McNamara, who is joining us now. Talk about, as a fan, because we're previewing the game tonight, what can they expect in the stands? I know you got a couple of promotions that you guys are doing tonight for the game?
Right, we have a $1 hot dog and $1 beer night, which we've had all season long on Friday nights. That's proven to be a pretty popular promotion, to say the least, which is great for the fans. They can come down and have some affordable fun. And we have ticket prices just for tonight, $10 and $7 for tonight and tomorrow night, actually. And it's a big game for us. We're down 2-1. In the series, the best of 7 series, and it's a game that you say they're all must win in the playoffs, but this one is significantly important. So
our anchor Jim Mertens was talking about kind of the backs behind the wall. Want to go back real quickly to the series against Rapid City, the first playoff series victory for the Quad City Mallards since 2003. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. Just kind of talk about what a series victory like that, Bob, means to this new franchise at least.
Well, I think for us it's significant. I think that the team has struggled in the playoffs over the years, and to be the first team in that many years to get to the second round is really important for us. It's important for us as we try and kind of rebuild this in the Quad Cities, and I think the people have certainly responded all season long. We increased our attendance by almost over 1,000. Over the course of the season, so that's been exciting, and we certainly hope they come down and support us for the playoffs because they've been an important part of our success this season.
Could you ever get this team, Bob, back to where it was in the late 90s?
Boy, that would be a dream to get back to having this building sold out every night. I think it's a different time. I think the economy is a little bit different. I think people are a little bit careful with their discretional dollars. We try to provide an affordable product here. I think if we can get this to $5,000 or $6,000 a night over the course of the next year or two, that would be great for us. And obviously, we'd like to win a championship and reward the fans, the Quad Cities, with a team that they can be proud of.
See if we can bring it home tonight. Again, Game 4 tonight. Bob, we appreciate it. Jim, Julie, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, it is such a pivotal game tonight.
Right. It could be a really big thing. I mean, like he said, even for the team as a whole here in the Quad Cities. Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Yeah, get the fans out there as well.
Bet.
You bet. We want to let you know that the game does start with the puck being thrown down at 7 o'clock tonight at the iWireless Center.
Well, beautiful day is shaping up out there this morning. So let's get the latest check of the forecast now with Chief Meteorologist James Zahara. Hi, James.
Yeah, take advantage of a good-looking day today and then go and see hopefully a victory for the Mallards come tonight. You can see the skies have improved nicely from yesterday's rains, which totaled up to about a quarter. Some spots even as high as a half an inch of rain. That has now made its way off to the east. Skies are improving nicely. Temperatures are in the 40s. For many of our hometowns, the exception Clinton. Good morning. You're at 39 degrees in the immediate Quad Cities, 43. Oh, we've got some sunshine to work in our forecast this morning. And with that gentle breeze coming out of the west-northwest, that will help drag in even warmer numbers around here. How warm? Check out your daily planner on your TGIF. Look at this. By lunchtime, we will already be in the lower 60s by the time the kids are heading out of school. Yeah, no need for the jacket. Wow, numbers will be around 70 degrees. Not a bad way to end the work week. We do have some changes in store when it comes to the later half of the weekend, and that will be in the form of rain. We'll tell you exactly when that will arrive and how much we could see coming up in just a few minutes. Julie.
All right, thanks a lot, James. Lake Delhi is on the road to recovery. The eastern Iowa recreational area suffered millions of dollars in damage during the floods of 2010. As News 8's John David shows us, the community is ready for a comeback.
If I wouldn't have woke up, we would have lost people.
As Larry Hawker looks out at Lake Delhi, the view sparks vivid memories.
I walked out my door and here come the water just rushing in.
Images come back to life from July 2010. That's when flooding forced a dam breach. The local economy lost millions of dollars. Residents were left to pick up the pieces.
LP tanks, jet skis, boats on their lifts, everything just coming down and going through the dam.
Nearly 4 years later, it's time to celebrate. Many of those same residents returned with ceremonial shovels.
To make Lake Delhi the best public recreational facility in eastern Iowa.
They broke ground on a project worth nearly $16 million, money that's coming from the county, state, and their own pockets.
It's a lifestyle, and I think lifestyle is a big impact to many people that live or have cabins on Lake Delhi.
These Delhi dreams are becoming reality. After years of meetings and fundraising, this project is ready to roll.
Heavy equipment is already moving. The first phase will replace outdated gates with modern technology. Phase 2 creates a spillway that functions like a waterfall.
We'll be able to handle more than double the capacity of the water flow than what we had previously to the breach of the dam, so that helps us from a safety perspective.
It's really a triumph over tragedy. They brought cameras to capture the moment. Some wore shirts to sum up their feelings. Others are just ready to recover.
But I'll be glad to see it come back.
A community comeback at Lake Delhi. John David, WQAD News 8.
Thank you, John. Construction should be finished by next summer. Iowa DNR also plans to stock the lake with thousands of fish.
A Chicago doctor is one of the Americans killed after security guard opened fire at a hospital in Kabul, Afghanistan. 57-year-old Jerry Umanos died yesterday when a guard opened fire at the hospital that's operated by a faith-based organization. The wife of Umanos says her husband was living his dream of helping the Afghan people by treating children and training other doctors.
Traffic cameras on Good Morning Quad Cities are sponsored by Ace Muffler Clinic.
It is time for Total Travel right now. I want to give you a live look and show you the travel conditions this morning on I-74. This camera is in Moline just before the bridge, and you can see not too much going on. The computer seemed to freeze up there, but the traffic is moving along smoothly.
6:37 right now, still ahead of Good Morning Quad Cities, pushing ahead the president's agenda as he continues a 4-nation tour in Asia.
How am I in violation of the dress code?
Kicked out. The surprising reason this pregnant mom was told to leave her gym during a workout.
And this will be by far the nicest day that we see heading into the weekend. I'm going to tell you why coming up right after the break here on Good Morning Quad Cities.
You're watching Good Morning Quad Cities with Jim Mertens and Julie Sisk.
Top of the morning here on News 8. We got your top headlines, traffic and weather to close out this hour of Good Morning Quad City. 6:53 right now, and the Quad City Mallards gearing up for their home playoff game tonight.
News 8's Jonathan Ketch joins us now live with a quick preview of tonight's game. Hi, Jonathan.
Yes, very quick preview. Good morning, Jim and Julie. Hey, it's a hockey night in the Quad Cities. We were coining the phrase. I'm on my skates here at the iWireless Center. Had it all morning long. There's another shot. That one's true into the net. We've been talking about Game 4 because that's tonight for the Quad City Mallards. They play the Allen Americans a little bit later on. The puck drop, by the way, 7 p.m. tonight. The Quad City Mallards have had a bit of a tough ride. They did at least on Wednesday, losing to the Allen Americans 4-2. But we're looking to bounce back because they're down 2-1 in the series. They need to win the night, by the way, to get back to 2-2 in the series. Once again, puck drop tonight, 7 p.m. here at the iWireless Center. Be here. We're in Moline. I'm Jonathan Ketz, WQAD News 8.
Ketzy looks so good on those skates, man. We're told more money is needed for the new I-74 bridge, but no guarantee that money will come through. U.S. Secretary of Transportation Anthony Fox was in the Quad Cities yesterday to take a look at the bridge. He called it one of the worst he's ever seen, but says the government's Highway Trust Fund is nearly empty and Congress needs to come up with a long-term solution.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is blasting Russia for failing to live up to its end of an agreement signed last week to lower tensions in Ukraine. Kerry says Russia is giving direct orders to separatists in Ukraine to take over government buildings, forcing Ukrainian soldiers to kill pro-Russian militants. Russia says Ukraine is turning its army on its own people. Kerry says the U.S. is ready to impose tougher sanctions on Russia if it does not abide by the deal.
Traffic cameras on Good Morning Quad Cities are sponsored by Ace Muffler Clinic.
6:55, time for Total Travel. We're looking live in Bettendorf at I-74. You can see traffic picking up a little bit on this Friday. Nice start to the day.
A lot of windows open. Time to get an answer to that trivia question. Before the break, we asked you, what state was the first to require license plates?
The answer is New York, and Joel from East Moline answered correctly. So he was at McCafe coffee mug, McCafe beverage, and an extra value meal from McDonald's.
All right, sunshine returns today. We're starting off with temperatures in the 40s, but oh, what a beautiful spring day this will be, as numbers will climb from the upper 40s around 8 a.m. to the 60s by noon. Yeah, maybe even around 70 degrees for a daytime high. A real nice spring day. Of course, I had a great visit down in Burlington, Iowa, Blackhawk Elementary. Over 150 kids.
Wow.
Kindergarten and first graders, and boy, they had smiles. They had great questions. I want to thank Renee Feinquist, who put this whole thing together for my last visit. And you know, I did bring something back from Burlington. What's the most edible item noted in Burlington? Has to do with potato chips.
Oh, yeah, the Sturgis, is that
Ta-da! There he is! For you. Julie and I will share, and we even have some creamy onion
sweet,
dip.
yes.
So breakfast is
I was just
accounted
going to say,
for on this Friday morning.
what a great breakfast.
Indeed.
Potato chips.
Awesome kids out there,
Good.
too, so I want to thank them a lot, and they're going to enjoy recess outside with that, too.
Thanks for joining us for Good Morning Quad Cities. We're back with our live local update.